Good evening. Since we're all standing, let's remain standing. Please take your seats. We're running a little bit late, so let's kick off the evening. I'd like you all to stand for the US and the Lebanese national anthems, and they will be performed by our feature performer this evening, Chris.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the barking red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you. Thank you. And now the Lebanese national anthem. And if you guys want to sing along, let's be proud. Please sing with me. كلنا للوطن للعلا للعلم ملء عين الزمن سيفنا والقلم. Please, I want to hear you guys. سهلنا والجبل للرجال قولنا والعمل في سبيل. We miss Beirut, don't we? كلنا للوطن للعلا للعلم كلنا للوطن. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. You will please have a seat. You will hear more of Chris later on this evening as our feature performer. For those of you who are new to our event, my name is Nadia Abares-Kassad, and I'm the executive director of the Renee Mowat Foundation, based in Washington, D.C. Words cannot describe how thrilled we are to welcome you back in person tonight for our 13th annual benefit dinner after 2 years of virtual existence and 3 years since we had our last event in 2019. I would like to thank each and every one of you who have generously supported us during the past 2 years and responded to our virtual outreaches, and you were very generous indeed. During the past 2 years, there was an enormous humanitarian crisis in Lebanon, and you made a difference. And later on, you will get to see how positively you impacted many lives in Lebanon. Now, allow me to present to you our two MCs, and we have two for the evening. Our resident MC, an RMF family, and Lebanon's adopted son, a very familiar face to many of you, and a magic wand for many faces, prominent plastic surgeon Dr. Julio Gallo. And Mr. Louis Aguirre, Emmy Award-winning journalist and co-anchor of WLPG Local 10 ABC News. Louis is also LPG's local environmental advocate and the face of a new station-wide campaign called Don't Trash Our Treasure. A longtime staunch defender of the planet, Louis brings awareness of environmental issues to South Florida. We are grateful to both Louis and Julio for navigating us through this evening. Please welcome our MCs, Julio and Louis.
الحمد لله على السلامة. أنا بحبكم كتير. أنا بحكي عربي كتير. Very good. I practice that all day. Am I okay? Will you adopt me?
Yes, let's adopt Louis. Come on.
I was like jealous, like Julio is an adoptive Lebanese. Why am I not an adoptive Lebanese? Huh? Je suis Libanais dans le cœur. Okay? You as well?
What?
You're Lebanese in your heart and your soul.
Oh, of course. Yes, yes. I've known this community for so long, and we've been part of this wonderful event for so many years. It really is. I'm just proud and honored to be here every year.
I'm just looking at all these. I know a lot of the people here in this room, and I am just overjoyed that I can share this evening with you. Many of you have welcomed me into your home, and every time you do, you feed me. And I love that about you, because the Lebanese food is the best food in the world, as far as I'm concerned, right? But you know, here's the thing: it's like you feed me with more than just food. You feed my soul and you feed my heart. You feed my soul with your love of life and your infectious spirit and generosity. And I thank you for that. Many of you have shared your stories with me about what your family and your friends are going through right now in Lebanon. And it is heartbreaking to see the country go through what it's going through right now. Julio, I mean, you can back me up on this, the worst humanitarian crisis in the history of Lebanon, having to spend a month's salary just to buy groceries for your food, for your family, having to wait hours to get gas for your car, rolling electricity blackouts that last for weeks, not being able to get cash from the bank. It's horrible what's going through.
It's a beautiful country and has so many rich resources, and it's just a sad, sad thing to see.
Yeah, the worst humanitarian crisis fueled by the worst financial crisis in the history of Lebanon. But if the Lebanese people, and if history is our timekeeper of all of this, we know that the Lebanese people are strong and resilient, and they always bounce back from the deepest adversities. And that is my prayer for Lebanon tonight, is that Lebanon will bounce back and once again be the beautiful country that it has always been from time immemorial. We have a special program tonight. So many beautiful people that.
We have a lot of stuff going on. We have a wonderful dinner. We have performance by Chris, who sang the national anthems. And we have some special messages from abroad. So if you can start with...
I will. We're going to start with the program right now. As a matter of fact, please welcome to the stage our event chair, Rima Otrachi, has been involved with the Renee Mawad Foundation for 17 years, 15 of which she was a member of the Board of Trustees, 10 of which she chaired the event. She was recently elected as vice chair of the Renee Mawad Foundation National Board. She's also an active supporter of the American University of Beirut, having served as president of its South Florida chapter. The university just established an endowed scholarship in her name, and that will perpetually support women's education, which is very important to you. And Rima believes that it is a basic right for all of us, and she's 100% correct. She's also an entrepreneur, being the owner of Rima's Gifts, retail personal shopper boutique right here in Coconut Grove. And in addition to her many, many philanthropic works, Rima is also the vice president of Miami Living, a company that owns and manages real estate. And she deeply cares about the environment, so she has a special place in my heart, and animals. She's known in her neighborhood as the Cat Fairy because she's adopted and feeds over 40 cats in her neighborhood. I love you so much for that. I mean, we love Rima. Rima, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Luis, for your kind words. I'm so thrilled you're part of this evening, and you are already adopted. We wrote all the papers, and you're in. And Julio, thank you for your commitment to RMF. You are family, and you've been so loyal and an amazing friend. Good evening to all of you wonderful friends and family. Thank you for being here tonight after the couple years of hibernation from COVID. Thank you for your kindness and continuous support. Thank you to all our major donors. Without them, none of our goals would be reached. Thank you to the Anthony R. Abraham Foundation, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Milton, Mr. and Mrs. Gary Nader, Mr. and Mrs. Tony Tamer, Mr. and Mrs. Habib Dibbs, Mr. and Mrs. Emilio Estefan, Dr. and Mrs. Christian Tragji, Mr. and Mrs. Oscar Saikali, Mr. Sarkis Yamin, Mr. and Mrs. Nadim Ashi, Inter Audi Bank, Mr. and Mrs. James Kassouf, Mr. and Mrs. Romeo Mawad, Mr. Kabalan Mawad, Mr. and Mrs. Sherbel Tahir, and so many more. We are also grateful for our board members locally and those who came from far. I would like to thank Sandy Tamer, Gary Nader, and Tom Abraham, our local board members, and also those that came from far, Adib Kassis and Jay Ghazal, and some couldn't make it, but we all had their support. I want to thank also Lori. Please, board members, would you stand to be recognized, and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you to Laurice McIntyre and my brother Farid Musallim for the beautiful centerpieces. They're beautiful, thank you. Thank you to Sami Ghusn and Masaya for the exquisite Lebanese wine. Thank you, Sami, you're amazing. Thank you to all our live auction donors. A big thank you to our executive director, Nadia Aburiza Assad, for her love and dedication to RMF. Always wonderful working with you, Nadia. The situation has never been so dismal in Lebanon. According to Human Rights Watch report, 80% of Lebanese population are without access to basic rights like education, health, and a basic standard of living. Electricity blackouts are dragging for hours per day, leading to the crippling of operations of many essential institutions like hospitals and bakeries. There is no support system in place from the public sector. NGOs like RMF become the lifeline for helping needy Lebanese. According to a survey released by UNICEF, children in Lebanon are bearing the brunt of one of the world's worst economic collapses in recent history. With no improvement in sight, more children than ever before are going to bed hungry or skipping meals. 60% of households have to buy food on credit or borrow money. 15% of families stop their children's education and have no health care. In response to the unfolding humanitarian and existential crisis in Lebanon, the Renee Mawad Foundation launched an all-out together campaign to provide relief and preserve hope for the most vulnerable Lebanese. It is providing livelihood assistance to the affected families through cash, assistance for work, and job creation so they can feed their children. Let us together give a chance to the children of Lebanon. RMF Foundation is the USAID primary trusted partner in Lebanon. USAID launched promoting sustainable livelihood for 10 million over 5 years, which will be implemented by RMF in developing local economies in tourism, agriculture, light industries, alternative energy, knowledge economy, and other sectors, all for the purpose of creating jobs and enhance people's income. Dear friends, we are here gathered to join hands to preserve hope for Lebanon, to restore human dignity, to protect our democracy, our civilization and culture, so Lebanon does not become the breeding ground for terrorism. God bless the United States of America, and God bless Lebanon. Let's watch a short video clip about RMF and who we are. Thank you.
أسست السيدة نيلة معوض مؤسسة روني معوض سنة 1991 تيبقى اللبناني بأرضه، وهيدا كان بيتطلب تعزيز قدرات الإنسان اللبناني تيتعلم الصيد ومش ينعطى سمكة.
Well, that's an amazing video that shows how the RMF really helps to engender and support socioeconomic growth at a basic sustainable level. So that instead of, as they say, give a man a fish and feed him for a day, you teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So that type of work is going on daily with the RMF Foundation. Right now, we're going to move on to dinner. Please enjoy, talk with your friends, and we'll continue with the program a little later. Thank you very much.
You are listening to Cafe de Anatolia Music.
Bon appétit, everyone. The Renee Mawad Foundation would like to take the opportunity this evening to recognize and pay tribute to a very valuable partner which has greatly supported our emergency relief and humanitarian efforts in the aftermath of the Beirut explosion. Help Us Rise, an initiative of the Anthony R. Abraham Foundation geared towards helping the 300,000 displaced Lebanese people and businesses rise from the ashes of despair. In the words of its founder and our board member, Tom Abraham, its mission is to love, honor, respect, and empower the lives of the suffering, the hopeless, and the forgotten. Let us watch together a short video clip on Help Us Rise and its noble work.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you. So, while we're enjoying this lovely dinner, I would like to welcome back to the stage Chris, our Lebanese-American singer-songwriter and activist. She's been performing all over the world for so many years, and we're so lucky to have her here tonight. And she's going to be accompanied on the keyboards by Nick Mason. So let's have a big round of applause for Chris and Nick.
Mic check, 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, I'd like you guys to please give it up for Nick Mason on the piano. He's made an incredible effort coming here tonight. My love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh yeah, yeah, at last the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clovers, yeah. The night that I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Oh yeah, yeah, you smile, you smile. Oh, and then the spell's cast, and here we are in heaven, in Miami, in Miami. For you are mine at last. Take it away, Nick. At last. Let's give it up for Nick on the keys, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! 'Cause I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Oh yeah, you smile, you smile. Oh, and then Thank you. We're going to do a song that's a little bit more modern now called All of Me by John Legend. And we're going to change it up a little bit, make it kind of jazzy. Let's go, Nikki.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. You got my head spinning, no kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. How many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating me down. I'm around through every move. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing this, ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Yeah. Cards on the table, people showing hearts, risking it, although it's hard. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Whoa.
Thank you. That was our first time doing it together. All right. right, what do we have next? I think maybe we should go for Chandelier. Is it that one? You see me sing. I haven't had enough gin to do this. So, woo! This is my little version of Chandelier. Our little version. Party girls, don't get hurt, can't feel anything. When will I learn? I push it down, push it down. I'm the one for the good time, car phone's blowing up. Just ring my doorbell, I feel the love, I feel the love. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, tag me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from a chandelier, from a chandelier. And I'm gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. And I'm gonna fly like a bird through the night, feel my tears as they dry. Oh, I'm gonna swing from a chandelier, from a chandelier. But I'm holding on for dear life, won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight. Just holding on for tonight. Sun is up, I'm a mess. I gotta get up and down. I gotta run from this. Here comes the shame. Here comes the shame. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw 'em back till I lose count. I'm gonna swing from a chandelier, from a chandelier. And I'm gonna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. And I'm gonna fly like a bird through the night, feel my tears as they dry. I'm gonna swing from a chandelier, from a chandelier. But I'm holding on for delight, won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight. Oh, I'm just holding on for tonight, on for tonight, on for tonight. Thank you. That was the first. All right. Some people live for fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think
that the physical things define what's within, and I've been there before, but that life's a bush for sure, for the superficial. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. Some people search for fountain. The promise is forever young. You know, some people need 3 dozen roses, and that's the only way to prove you love them. Hand me the world on a silver platter, and what good would it? I don't know why. Someone to share, but no one who truly cares for me. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you, you, you. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. Thank you. Woo. We're gonna go for a song now that's a little bit more difficult, so it's gonna be my first time performing it. Ruben, it's functional? Perfect. So this is the nervous moment that I've been waiting for the past couple of months. And it's an Aretha Franklin song called, you know what I'm talking about. It's called Ain't No Way. And it goes something like this. Oh, by the way, I just got word. This is going to be our last song before we move on to the next part of the program. Thank you, Nadia. Here we go. I love this song. It's called Ain't No Way. Ain't no way for me to love you if you won't let me. It ain't no way for me to give you what you need if you won't let me give all of me. I know that a woman's duty is to help and love a man, and that's the way it was planned. Oh, but how can I give you all the things I can. If you're tying both of my hands, whoa, it ain't no way. It ain't no way, yeah, baby. It just ain't no way, baby. Ain't no way, baby. It ain't no way for me to love you if you won't let me. Stop trying to be someone you're not. Hard, cold, and cruel is a man who paid too much for what he got. And if you need me to love you, say you do. Darling, please, 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 don't you know that I need you? It ain't no way. I tell you that it ain't no way, it ain't no way, it ain't no way, baby. Oh, it sure ain't no way. It ain't no way for me to love you if you won't let me. If you won't let me. If you won't let me. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Nick. He's been a great help tonight. We'll be back. And this is the next part of the program. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris and Nick. I mean, I'm very impressed with Chris's range, from the technically challenging anthems to popular songs to the soulful music. Let's have a round of applause for Chris and Nick together. So usually we have the Honorable Naila Mawad here, and it's hello, one. So moving on to the next portion of the program, it's always nice to have Naila Mawad here. This year she can't be here, but it's impressive to be in her presence because her fortitude and resilience helped establish the Renee Mawad Foundation. Almost. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. So I just want to introduce the video message from the Honorable Naila Mawad, who is the founder and the president of the Renee Mawad Foundation in Lebanon and the chairwoman of the foundation in the USA. She's the widow of the assassinated president of Lebanon, Renee Mawad, and she sought to honor her husband's legacy by promoting peace and social justice by establishing this foundation. And she has managed to take this charity from a small charity to a multifaceted developmental organization that enjoys a lot of international broad support to promote sustainable human development in Lebanon. Ms. Mawad is also a retired politician, and she's had a decades-long career as a member of parliament and the Minister of Social Affairs. She's championed women's rights and children's rights, and she helped establish a law to raise the minimum age of working children and a law that made education compulsory and free of charge. So Naila Mawad is really the backbone of this foundation, and I think we have a video message from her.
It's an honor and great pleasure to be here with you at the 13th Gala Dinner of the Renee Mawad Foundation, USA.
Preserving hope and restoring Lebanon to its former glory. That is the mission, right? Let's give it for Mrs. Mawad, who unfortunately could not be here with us tonight, but her words are prolific and they resonate in this room and around the world. So thank you, Mrs. Mawad, for that beautiful message. All right, and now to present this year's honoree and recipient of the Renee Mawad Foundation Distinguished Lifetime Achievement Award and Outstanding Community Service Award, a very dear friend, Lebanese-born and Dominican-raised art collector. Gary Nader is regarded as one of the most influential, entrepreneurial, and successful gallerists in the United States. The Gary Nader Art Center is 55,000 square feet of exhibition space situated in the heart of Wynwood. Three components: the Gary Nader Private Collection, the Exhibit Gallery, and the Sculptural Park, all specializing in Latin American art, and really, truly one of the most successful galleries in the world for decades. Indeed, Gary Nader has played an integral role in the formation of Miami's growing presence in the art world. I don't think we would be who we are in the art world without you, Gary. And I mean that from my heart. He's been an active member of the board of the Renee Mawad Foundation for over 10 years, helping those in great need in his ancestral homeland of Lebanon. It is my pleasure to bring to the stage my friend, my brother, curator of all that is Bureau, gallerist of the stars and collectors, Mr. Gary Nader.
I wish I was born in Lebanon, but I was born in Dominican Republic. But it doesn't make any difference. First things first, Nadia, where are you? Where is she? Stand up. Please stand up. Guys, without Nadia, this is impossible. Thank you. I don't know how you do it, especially at the moment that we are today. I've been thinking about what I'm going to say, but I didn't bring a speech because I like to speak from the heart, especially that, you know, when you speak to your family, and we're all family here. It's not going to be as elegant and eloquent, but, you know, I hope it comes right. First things first. Noah, Lola, we are here today because we are extremely, extremely lucky. We are the blessed ones. Those are my children, by the way. Every Lebanese parent, since he wakes in the morning until he goes to sleep, is thinking of you. And this is why we're here. When we have the chance to be the ones that are so blessed to be giving, I hope it comes from the heart. But if it doesn't come from the heart, it's our duty. Never forget that. And this is what we're here for. I'm not going to take much of your time, but why are we here today? By the way, thank you for accepting the nomination of my dear friend and brother, Joseph, to be honored. Why did I choose Joseph among so many people that we know? And he might not know it, but he couldn't be any more Lebanese than what he is. I mean it. The guy is the perfect description of a good Lebanese man. He's the best son to his father and mother, Jose and Nilda. Since I remember, he's working with his father since he was a little kid. He can say that, you know, he puts his father's name in very high. He's extremely proud of his father. His father started a company, left him a mid-sized company. He and his brothers make them a very big company and a very successful company. Takes care of his mother. I seen it. I seen how he hand-on with his mother. And my wife knows, you're not a Lebanese kid if you don't take care of your mother. I mean, hello. That's what we're here for. And you cannot be and you know, I heard a long time ago that the only way to heaven if you're a good son. And you know, he's right there. Keep going on. His brothers, I mean, Cecilio and Frank, couldn't be any luckier. I see them, how they react among each other, and I'm so jealous. I mean, they love each other. They take care of each other. They cherish each other. They go to parranda each other before she got married. I mean, he doesn't do it now. It's fantastic the way this family behaves. I mean, family. One more Lebanese than that. His wife, well, I don't know which one is luckier. Look at her. His wife, I mean, if you see what he does for his wife when they were boyfriend and girlfriend, you don't know what romantic man is. I mean, this guy, it's beyond what he does. And Emilio is a witness of that even composed a melody for him in his honeymoon. And what else? Philanthropy. Huge. He not only writes the big checks, he's there. I see him going to different countries in Africa, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Peru, you name it. He's right on. He's the Alpha Lead Foundation, that I'm very proud also to be thank you, Joe, for having me there, to be a member. Teaches people all over the world to write and read and change their lives. It's pretty amazing what he does with his philanthropy. Work, extremely disciplined, extremely successful, not because he's only smart, but because he's extremely hardworking man. I sometimes tell him to leave later for lunch, and it's almost impossible. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, the guy is like, I'll marry you, or something like that. What the hell? Joseph, anybody that knows you is very proud because you don't have an agenda. You are sincere. The only thing myself that I regret is that I only know you for a few years. I would have loved to know you in childhood. You didn't want that. But Joseph, please, come over here. I have to call Emilio first. Emilio, come here. Yes, we are the three tenors today.
You know what? I'm surprised. We was born in Cuba, grew up in the States, and we're Lebanese. So we're very confused. But you know something? One thing that we're not confused is that we feel the pride of Lebanon because of our father and our families. And that's what I love about you, how much you respect your dad and your mom. And I know he's a very quiet, but he does so much for people, and he never will say that. The only reason that I'm here is to say you thank you for everything you do for people, for next generation to recognize people that are looking in our life, and you give back. And people should know that because, you know, he would never say that. And it's been a blessing to be your friend for many years. I mean, believe it or not, he was in the conga video because, when we did the conga video, we didn't have money to have people who call our friends and say, yo, come on and be in the conga video. He was in the conga video because we realized that because he was our friend. I'm so proud of you and you, Alex, to you too, and the family. I mean, your brothers and your family, definitely you made a difference. Yesterday I laughed a lot because, you know, my grandson, we was coming to see our play in the school and the theater that you guys built. And the other day, we passed by the hospital and said, you know, that's Mr. Milton did that. I said, oh my God, that's incredible. Then we went to the theater last night. He said, do they do everything in Miami? Yes, you do everything in Miami. So in a way, you know, the only reason that I'm here to tell you, you know, I believe in Lebanon. We've been through so many hard times. Later on, you'll be able to challenge it. When Tom came to me and Tom Abrams say, listen, I brought you Tabule, I brought you Kibbe, and Kibbe Naya. Listen, you need to write a song for Lebanon. I said, Tom, I'm really busy. I'm doing 2 movies. And he said, I don't care. And I wrote this song in 7 hours, and I produced this song in 1 day because this song sent a message, you know, even we're far away, we never forget where we came from, where our fathers came from, our grandfathers came from. I'm proud of the Lebanese community because, you know, you've done so many great things all over the world. And even we went to rough times so many times, like we immigrants, when we came to this country, we want to prove the world that, you know, we can give back to the world this incredible message of hope. And I believe that we're going to go back to Lebanon very soon after this happened to celebrate this in a big way. Thank you very much for coming tonight. I have a surprise. I mean, I didn't know because I don't have the schedule in front of me. But I mean, what can I do for you? I mean, you do everything for everybody else. So I did something that, that I felt it was a message, all the way from Miami to all over the world, and we accomplished that, So I wrote a song, and I produced a song that we want to perform for you, especially for you. And I don't want to be singing, but, I have a big surprise for you. And like I say, it's a night to be remembered because, realistic, we need to feel that unity is the main thing that we have in the world. And Lebanon needs to feel this message. This song was recorded in Arabic. It was recorded in English. And we have a big surprise for you. Will you come to the stage, please? It's one of my incredible artists that we have.
Good evening. This is very small. 1 second. Okay, we're good. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jailanice. Nice to meet you guys. I am not Lebanese, but when Emilio asked me to interpret the song, I was more than gladly to be able to do it, just because I came from Cuba, and I feel the pain of Lebanon through the people and through this song, which is called Beirut, and I hope that you guys can feel it as well. And I'm very thankful for being here tonight.
Different, and it's in pain today. I'm remembering faces and places that I'll never see again. Life can change a minute with no time to say goodbye. Life is full of surprises, and you can lose the one that you smile from a child, dreams and embrace me. Help us rise. Oh, you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm so proud of you, and we're so honored to have you. And this is just a little symbol to thank you for all that you do. And we're so happy you joined the RMF family, I should say it here, right? Okay. I still have goosebumps from this song. Emilio, thank you so much. Amazing. Amazing voice. Like an angel. Jose, this is a symbol from RMF just to thank you for all that you do, all your philanthropic work, all your service to community, and all your dedication to help the community in Lebanon. And you are adopted too from us also. This is for you. Congratulations.
Give it up for the beautiful voice of Yelenis Perez. Yelenis, you sing like an angel. Emilio, just another stunning, beautiful song, my brother, my God. We're so blessed to be in his presence. And Yelenis, thank you very much for that beautiful song. Thank you.
An ex-alumni, just like me from Belen. It's always good to see Belen graduates. I'm so humbled. And just tonight is another proof to me that God's got perfect timing. I came tonight, and I was going to talk to you about my history of the family, my family in Lebanon, which I will. And I'm just, as I was seeing all of this evolve, obviously I've never been here before. I've just been really moved. It's, and I thought about it in prayer as I was preparing for tonight, if this is the next place God wants me. I always felt that wherever I went in my life, God guided me there with a purpose to serve, never to receive. And so coming here, talking about Lebanon, which is something that I've never really talked about in the tone of helping, and then seeing the amazing video from Tommy. Tommy, thank you so much. Wow. I mean, if that doesn't move you. And then my friends, my dear friends, that I would do anything for them. So when they asked me to receive an award, which is something that I despise doing, but I did it reluctantly, but I did it for them. I love these guys. And it's ended up being a blessing for me. And I got to tell you, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to see God in the faces of so many people. And thank you for the friendship and the love that we share. It means a lot to me and Jerry and the other table. It's 4 of us. We call ourselves the Rap Pack, and it's a lot of fun. Thank you, guys. So Emilio specifically has written 2 songs for me. This one, which I didn't expect, and it's beautiful, and it's empowering, and it gets you motivated to help, which is so awesome, huh? So awesome when God gives you an opportunity to touch somebody's life. Because when you do touch somebody's life, you realize that you see God in their eyes. And then the other one was one of the most important moments in my life, when I proposed to my beautiful wife. I mean, even thinking of the song gets me choked up. And Emilio gave me the honor and the pleasure to surprise me one summer when I was telling them, look, guys, they were the first people I told, I'm going to propose to my girlfriend. And they were like, great, we love her, do it. And Emilio says, I'm going to write you a song. And I thought he meant, I thought he meant pick a song, and I'll just do like instrumental for it. And then you can play it. And I was very dramatic. I wanted to do it on her 30th birthday in the desert of Dubai. That's pretty dramatic. So I said that here in the States, the 30th birthday is a big deal. So we're going to go celebrate it in Dubai and try to camouflage. And I took a lot of my friends. And Emilio told me, well, I'm gonna write you a song. And again, I thought, I'm going to pick a song, take it to Emilio, and he'll compose it. Oh, no. I get there, and Emilio actually wrote a song. And I think he wrote it overnight, and he was telling me everybody's crying to it. Everybody's crying to what? The entire time I was listening to a song, I cried. And this was the first, this is like the draft version of it. It's just one of the most incredible moments. And I'm not just talking about the actual, this moment that I proposed, which was a blessing in itself, but the entire journey, from beginning to end. All the memories, all the friends that were involved was just very special. So I want to, let me go actually to my speech now. I want to thank the foundation for this prestigious award and for this eye-opening experience to see the need and desperation in Lebanon. I was talking to Tommy earlier. I told him that I'm committed to help. And I think this is where God is guiding me in this moment in my life, to expand. So I also, again, I want to thank Gary for everything he did, even that speech that was done just straight from the heart. Nothing written down. It means a lot to me, my friend. So now let me tell you a little bit about why I'm Lebanese, or how I got to be Lebanese. My grandfather, Cecilio, and they gave me a table, and I was wondering, I wonder if that's because my family came from Zale, and they did. So my family is from Zale. My grandfather, in the late 1920s, there was another very bad recession. It was huge, tremendous poverty in Lebanon. At least my family was going through extremely difficult times. So my grandfather decided to leave Lebanon. Not only him, but his brothers decided to leave Lebanon. By then, he was married. He had my oldest aunt. Her name is Mary. My grandmother's name is Naviha. And they got in a boat. They got in a boat and headed to England on the way to the Americas. So when they get to England, my grandfather was not an educated man. He was a farmer, as I said. They asked him, well, where do you want to go? I have to believe that they meant to say Alabama. Now, this is a reason for this. Because they understood La Habana. So I have family in Alabama. The other brother went to Alabama. So part of my family's redneck. I don't know if any of you guys happen to know them. So my father did arrive. I mean, not my father. My grandfather went to Cuba. They came in as immigrants, extremely poor. And my father was first generation Cuba, born in 1930. They lived in a house or a room. I'm not sure if it was a house. My grandfather referred to it as house. That was probably about half the size of the stage. That's maybe a little bigger. That's 4 children and 2 parents. We were extremely poor. Extremely poor. My grandfather sold newspapers. My grandmother cleaned houses. And the oldest daughter, Mary, was responsible to take care of the kids and the house. She was the maid, she was the nanny, she was everything. Then my father, as a good Lebanese family, they basically give responsibility. So you're going to take care of the kids, we're going to go out and work long hours, and you're going to get us out of this poverty. You're going to go to school, we're going to give you the privilege of going to school, you're going to go get educated, but you're going to break this chain of poverty. So my father did exactly that. He went on to school, and year after year, this is a good thing about Cuba for those that are Cuban or not Cuban, you'll learn this today. Cuba back then in the 1930s, if you got good grades, they gave you medals. Medals didn't pay any bills, but they give you money. So if you got an A, well, you got more money than the guy that got a B, and I'm sure some point you didn't get anything. But, and that same money he got was used to pay for the education year after year. My father never got anything less than an A in all his years, as an appreciation to the sacrifice that his parents and his oldest sister did. And it's something that, I guess, united them and bonded them because they were such a small family. Well, by the age of 26, my father didn't go out, didn't go partying. His brother did, and so did the younger sister. But somebody had to work, and the rest could enjoy. So by the age of 26, it was 1956, my father had become independently wealthy, very wealthy actually for those terms in Cuba. He had a wealth exceeding $500,000 US dollars back then. And he had finally done it. He broke that chain of poverty. He had actually taken a family to a place that we would never go back to again. And it was about hard work, it was about dedication. It was just, never stopped. Always kept on trying, doing better and better. So 1956, he's doing great, he's making money. A lot of the breaks came, and this is something about the Lebanese community in Cuba. The Lebanese community in Cuba was very united, as it is everywhere in the world. And the first break my father got to do a large contract for government was through an assistant that gave out the contracts, and she was part of that Lebanese community. So he got his first break from a Lebanese friend. By 1959, January 1959, Castro took over Cuba. And that same poverty and misery that he was born in was now facing it right in front of him. Because within a year, they took his properties, they froze his accounts, and he realized that he needed to leave. He needed to relocate the family again. So he had to be creative in this because there was no way to get in and out of Cuba freely. For those Cubans that are here, we understand that leaving Cuba meant you left Cuba with nothing. You didn't leave with any bags. You didn't take any clothes. You didn't take any jewelry. Everything stayed in Cuba, belonged to the government. So my father, he had a Lebanese passport. He belonged to the Lebanese Federation. For those that know it, back then in the late 50s and 60s. Now the Lebanese passport, and I'm sure all of you have seen it, considering, you can't read it unless you're Lebanese. You can't read a single thing that's on that passport. It could say anything you want. Oh, by the way, I'm this guy. Okay, great, because you can't read it. And it had his picture, obviously. So my father always would buy a new Cadillac every year through 1958. And he went out and bought some little flags, Lebanese flags. I don't know if he got them through the Lebanese Federation, and he put them on the car. And the revolutionaries took over the country, but they weren't very smart. The level of education from Castro's regime was not very high. So my father would claim to be a Lebanese counselor. Part of the embassy. Besides being very book smart, he was very street smart. So he starts traveling the world. He traveled the Americas, looking for where he's going to relocate his family next. And he traveled really from 61, when they finally let him travel, through 63. And in 1963, I'm going to tell you the exact date because it was in 1962, he decided to move to Miami. There's something about Miami that reminded him of Cuba. Something about the royal palms and the trees reminded him of Cuba. So he wanted to come here because he felt this would be the next place that our family would immigrate to. And he came in on October 13, one day before the Cuban Missile Crisis. So besides being very smart, he was actually very lucky. So and his friends called him for a while. Hey, how did you know? And he didn't know. He just actually got lucky. And he came in, and actually he was supposed to come in the day before, and he missed his flight. So he came in that day, and he started again here. He started again here. He started again with nothing. I remember, I was born here in '64, a year later, and I was born in very humble conditions, and it was great. I got to tell you, I was blessed with two amazing parents. By the late 1960s, like 68, 69, my father had created significant wealth again, and he was on to create the empire for the family that he goes on to create throughout his life. My father dedicated his life to teaching me the value of hard work, and his training came with a great deal of tough love. The great work ethics and family values were at the core of his wisdom. I mean, we had lunches on Sunday, which I'm sure most Lebanese families do. Sunday lunches is not you're invited, it's not you're required to be there. So it's not a choice. I mean, I thought it was a choice. When I was a kid, I lived at home. Okay, well, I'm there. I just go down, have lunch. When I wasn't a kid and I was out, like at the University of Miami and had long nights, he made it real clear to me early on. You do have a choice. You do not need to come. But I don't need to put you in my inheritance either, so and at the beginning I thought he was kidding around too. He wasn't. He made it very clear that he was very serious. And what was the reason of his toughness? Well, it was simple. He wanted to show us that the family is everything. The family is the one thing that's always there. When good times happen, everybody's there for you. But when tough times, which I have lived through extreme tough times, family is there. Family is your rock. So my father now has taught me how to work, all these great family values, and my mother shared the same great family values. That's what made us such a united and strong family. But she taught me something else. She taught me about God. She was the heart. My father was the drive. And in that, I remember being 5 years old, and my mom could have asked me anything. I would do anything for her. I wanted to appreciate her. I wanted to love her since I was that little kid you saw in that picture. And I remember I had a couple of shirts, not many. Like I said, we were starting off. And she said, look, your cousins just came from Cuba, from her family. And they have no shirts. So we're going to give them half of your shirts. And I was like, Mom, I have like 5 shirts. You were going to give them 2 out of the 5. That was okay. Great, Mom. And it became a habit that every weekend, my mom would take me to like an amusement park or just to the park, wherever we go. It didn't matter where we went. Before we got there, we had to do something for charity. We had to do something to give back. When we didn't have, we gave back. And when we had, we gave back more. So I can tell you that probably the greatest gift my mom taught me is that the greatest gift you can ever get is to give. She was my heart, and everything I do, everything I've done and dedicated in my life to make a difference in the lives of others through empowerment, through education, all came from her. She was my inspiration and my drive. Until today, as you saw in the pictures, she lives. We celebrate every Sunday with her, me and my 2 brothers and our entire families. And she's the reason I do what I do. Winston Churchill was a great spokesman. And he says, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. So in that, I always look for the opportunities for what God wants next. My purpose in life is simple. It's to take care of the people I love and to take care of God's people. So how do I know who's God's people? It's wherever he leads me. I've been throughout Africa and serving. I am the chairman of a nonprofit that serves 30,000 people around the world, from Africa to Central America, South America, Dominican Republic, my friend, Haiti, and it's because that's where God wants me. So today, maybe there's a new opportunity, a new horizon that I saw in the faces of people that need so much in Lebanon. I didn't realize about the extreme need or poverty. And the reality is everything I've worked for, and you saw some of the buildings, and I have done a great deal of achievements on the work side. But money is just a means for an end. It's never about the money. You know, if you say that all you worried about is money, then that becomes your God. And I have one God, and he's given me an amazing life. So I want to, in closing, I want to thank two people which are here tonight, which mean the world to me. My daughter. My daughter is the love of my life and my greatest accomplishment. I've poured out and will always be doing everything I can to make her just the amazing woman that she is. I love you, baby. And my wife. I want to thank you for being my soulmate, for bringing me peace and love in this journey of life. At times, I've spent such an amazing life and done so many things within the years that God has given me, that I thought it was all about that. It was all about giving and the amazing friends and family that I had. But I never thought I would find somebody to share it with. Thank you for giving me that love and peace. Love you. And I want to thank all of you for sharing with me this evening and giving me a glimpse of the needs in Lebanon and how many people here in Miami have a heart open to it. I am blessed to be here and just extremely, extremely gratified. So again, thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this very, very special evening. Gary, Emilio, Jose, Rima, Julio, everyone who made this evening so special, thank you so much. We have much more entertainment. Don't go anywhere. Chris will be back with some more amazing music. We have dancing. And again, all this is for Lebanon. And like the Phoenix, like the legendary Phoenix, Lebanon will rise again. And you were all a very part of that by being here tonight with your presence, your love, your generosity, and your gifts and your talents. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, everybody. Ma salama.